Hello everyone, it's Taka from Freaks Feather Productions here with another installment of the tips and tools in the trade in cosplay. As requested, I'm going to supply the way I went about making my Flandre Scarlet costume. Now, Flandre Scarlet is the extra boss in the game Touhou 6, Embodiment of the Scarlet Devil. She's 495 years old, but is the younger sister of the Scarlet Devil, Romelia Scarlet. She's been locked up in a basement for all those years, and when she gets out, her idea of play is ripping the player to shreds and drinking their blood. But if you can survive the hell of bullets and all of her spell cards, you'll find out she's just a lonely little vampire girl. Flandre is known for her wings, especially since they are completely different than the normal assumption of wings. They're branch-like structures with 8 gems that dangle down in a specific color pattern. However, I'll let it be known now that due to convention costume regulations, I had to cut 1 gem from the sequence so that the wings wouldn't be confiscated, which actually isn't much of a loss, considering the light blue gem repeats at the beginning and at the end. Now, Flandre is my first costume that I went all out on, meaning this is the first time I wore contacts for cosplay. Red vampire lenses are a great addition to this costume, and they work for many other red-eyed characters. Another nice addition is a pair of vampire fangs. These can be found at Halloween stores such as Spirit or Halloween City, or ordered online. In the description below, I offered the links to both the contacts and the fangs. Working from the feet up, Flandre wears a pair of red Mary Janes. Now, I gave a link to a pair of Mary Janes if you really want to look into getting them. When I initially wore Flandre, I used a pair of heels my friend borrowed when she was our panty in the panty and stocking group we did in July 2012. Over the course of one day, the shoes ended up breaking, so the last day of the convention, I bought a new pair of red heels. If you can find a pair of cheaper red heels, that's perfectly okay. As long as the heel is no more than 2.5 inches tall, since Flandre is kind of short and looks like a little girl. Flandre's socks vary from picture to picture. In this photo of one of her figures, she has lacy little ankle socks, but in this one, they're knee-high. I ended up going with the lacy socks since the figure was more to the character than the drawing that is a fan art. Flandre's skirt is a basic pleated circle skirt. You'll need a layer of white under a layer of red. Make sure the white is about 1 inch or 2 longer than the red so it shows up. My white skirt was actually 2 layers and was made a while back for a homecoming outfit I had made. I added the red layer to the skirt and it simply just pulls up and slips over the hips. If you want to add in a zipper to your skirt in the back, feel free to do so. Due to me running out of time, I did not make the shirt from scratch. I ended up making a trip to Goodwill and bought a white mid-length sleeve dress shirt. I cut the sleeves down and hemmed it, then added the red ribbon and the white lace along the collar. If you want to make the shirt, I suggest a nice triangle collared button-up dress shirt pattern. Flandre's little scarf/ascot was rather rushed and simplified. It's just 3 trapezoid-shaped pieces of fabric sewn together at the top and is safety pinned on the center part of the shirt collar, much like a clip-on tie. I plan to redo mine mostly because I didn't hem the side edges and it's beginning to fray slightly, as well as I want it a bit thicker and fuller. The vest was probably the most brain-racking of the fabric portion of the costume, but once I began work on it, it was much simpler than I had anticipated. I had drafted up many possible ideas, but ended up using the one I had initially thought about. Flandre's vest can either fully button up in the front, or it can split like mine and only button up around the collar. The back has a square cut out for the wings to come out safely and has 6 buttons, 2 on the top section and 4 on the bottom. The vest is literally 2 pieces split down the middle since, once the wings were made, I couldn't work a vest over them. If you so desire, you can make a Velcro patch of red fabric to cover the large square in the back if you don't want too much of the wing mechanics showing, but it honestly doesn't matter. The hat is basically a drawstring bag you put on your head. Quick instructions are measure the circumference of your head, add about 2 inches for your wig, and use that number as your diameter. Cut out 2 large circles of the white fabric. If you want the red ribbon along the gathered part of the hat, you'll need to take one of the circles and go about 4 inches in from the edge and sew it around in the circle. Then you'll put the ribbon-adorned circle with the ribbon facing down on the other white circle and sew them together along the edges, but leave a hand-sized spot open so you can pull it out inside out. Then go in and measure however many inches you want for the brim of the hat. I suggest about 3. And sew around the circle, leaving the same hand-sized spot open. Then you'll go in about 1/2 inch from that thread and sew all the way around, ignoring the hand-sized hole. You just created the little pocket for your elastic to go in. The elastic should also be the circumference of your head, if not 1 inch smaller, so it fits snugly. Next is the tedious part. It's stuffing the elastic into that long tunnel you created with the thread while pulling and gathering the hat together. I ended up cutting a hole in the hat slightly above the elastic for my ponytail clip to come out, and the bow was sewn right below that hole. I also didn't put the red ribbon on the gathered part of my hat due to many pictures of Flandre not actually showing the ribbon. So it's really up to the cosplayer decision for you to make. Now the wings. Now Flandre's wings are known to light up. You don't have to make them light up because it certainly is a few extra steps and dollars, but it really adds just an extra plus to the costume. My wings, as a matter of fact, do light up. I bought 2 battery-powered LED light sets with 10 lights on each string. Since I only needed 7 lights, we cut off the extra 3 without disrupting the circuit. I bought a small backpack and cut the pack part off, saving the straps and stuffed back harness part for the base harness of the wings. My dad did most of the work on the wings, making a thin metal piece that was screwed onto the harness and put a felt piece on the inside that lays on my back so the screws didn't dig in. The metal plate allowed him to screw a block of wood as well as both battery packs to the lights. He drilled 2 holes into the wood for the wire wings to go in and then stapled and hot glued them in place. The wire wings are made out of 2 wire clothing hangers straightened out and then twisted together. But due to the length of the wings, each one being roughly 41 inches long, my dad added on half of a full length of another pair of twisted hangers. The wire wings and wires of the lights were all wrapped together with a pack and a half of black tissue paper to the proper thickness and then sprayed over with 2 coats of clear gloss paint. You can also use black electrical tape instead of the tissue paper so it's more water resistant, just in case it rains while you're out at convention. But using black electrical tape alone for that thickness in the wings and area can be more expensive than tissue paper. If anything, I suggest doing most of the layers in tissue paper and then clear coat them, going over it with 1 layer of electrical tape so you save money while still making it rather water resistant. The gems were my work. Each gem is made out of clear plastic folders that was cut and folded into the gems and then painted with 1 thin coat of acrylic paint on the inside in the colors needed: blue, pink, purple, orange, yellow, green, and light blue. They were taped together once folded, leaving a small opening so that the gem can be slipped over the light bulb. Hole punched and threaded a black twisty tie, used on things such as garbage bags, through the hole so that it was more securely on the wings. To go the extra step, we placed each bulb with the respective color, so the color when it lit up was richer and brighter. We found a blue, pink, purple, orange, and green bulb for their respective gems. However, the yellow and light blue gems kept a clear bulb since the lighter colors of the gems would be better off without trying to match a bulb to. In the description below, I gave a link to the website where I ordered my battery-powered lights from. Each pack lasts about 2 hours before needing a battery replacement. So that's one of the ways you can go about making your own Flandre Scarlet outfit. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to state them. I cannot demonstrate too much now due to the costume being finished, and this is just a summary of what I did, but if the demand is high, I may be able to do a tutorial on how to make the gems or any other piece of the costume. My next Touhou costume will probably be Touhou Vania's Flandre Scarlet, and this time, I'm making the Leviathan. Hope the video was helpful to all of you aspiring Flandres out there.